It was generally a weird company. That was what was so enjoyable about most of those cartoons, is how generally like strange they were, and the kind of awareness of how weird that they were. But yeah, but you hear that though, right? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, yeah, I got you now. Yeah,
Dude.
now I'm on the now I'm picking up what you're putting down. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
let's see here. 2 more minutes. I gotta make sure I got my drinky.
Yeah,
Need to hydrate.
I might refill. Maybe I'll go do that.
I would say go do that. And yeah, by the time you get back, we'll get the intro rolling.
We're gonna roll the intro. That's
We'll roll the in.
awesome.
Isn't that fun? That we can do that
Ah!
now. Oh, don't do that. What? Don't do that. Whatever you just did, don't do it. Whew. I'm ready for a wild one, gang. This is gonna be good. I'm super stoked.
Who's opening the cabinets? Freaker, what you doing, brother?
Uh-oh. Paprika got caught opening the cabinets like a velociraptor. Oh, make sure I have the right things up here.
But yeah, I'm totally into. I love that there's an intro. I love that we can roll intros for segments, and I think very slowly we're both kind of
Mm.
figuring out little things and fun things to do, and I'm in love with it. I think it's great.
Yeah. Again, the next thing that I want to do is exclamation point commands for the audience
Oh,
to kind of do like background fun things.
yeah. If you want to like do a brainstorm or ask me any questions about how to do fun things,
If dude.
I could help you set that up someday, or on Thursday if we're gonna be playing games, we can talk
Oh
about
yeah,
that
dude.
too.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you wanna, if you got your Minecraft crew playing, like yeah, well I'll throw down if that's cool if I hop in with y'all,
Oh yeah,
or we can
I'll
do our own individual quests. That's totally fine too.
yeah, if they're not available, do you I don't know how to make it or have a server or do anything like that. Is that always
I don't
see
believe.
the same thing about Fortnite, is that always cost money?
Oh no, not the thing with no.
Or can like I just run a temporary
I think
instance on my PC and you can
you
join?
can. I think with like regular games, you can invite up to 3 other people.
Oh, well, that would
But
be perfect. I'll ask
yeah,
them. Yeah, I'll
it,
ask them what they're doing on Thursday.
yeah. So
But
I
it might
think
just be us. But I would
yeah,
do that, yeah. And
yeah,
we can talk about bots and stuff.
yeah. We'll have fun. But yeah. Let's start the show.
Oh yeah, okay.
Alrighty.
All right, awesome.
Welcome back to the Mountain
Awesome to be
Studios.
here. Oh God, get the Jesus.
Oh, what? Oh, what's that
Get the
doing there?
baguette out of here.
That
Get the
Gat, what are you doing
Bublina
here?
baguette.
That Gat, you were, you were, you were from the last episode, silly. Thank you for joining us, Creeper Baguette, but not today. No, no, no. Don't do it. Don't do. Ah, jeez, Louise, get out of here. Go away. Go away. Ah, that Baguette, man. Anyway.
I ate a baguette. Did I? I think I have a little piece of baguette left for a little bit of soup later on.
Oh, nice. I do like
Oh,
baguettes though. Baguettes are a fine bread product.
oh man, a crusty French
Mm-hmm.
loaf.
Yep, nice and
Terrific.
like when you kind of give it like a little bit of a squeeze, you hear like the crinkle.
Oh yeah.
That's how you know you got a good baguette.
That's the mark of a good baguette.
Mm-hmm. Now if you're getting those like loaves at like your Kmart's or your Targets or whatever, and you squeeze into them and they feel like fucking styrofoam. That's not worth it. Just put it back down and go away. Find somewhere else to get your baguette from. Because I've had to get those types of baguettes a handful of times and they're just terrible. It's like a Subway bread. It's like pure
Like
styrofoam.
what,
It's like super
soft
soft,
or
no crunch.
Subway. Oh, super soft. Subway bread in the sense of made out of chemicals.
And
Uh,
something like that. I don't
'Cause
know.
there's also, I mean,
It feels like a memory foam mattress.
sometimes sometimes the baguette at the grocery store is made of styrofoam in the sense that it is rock hard and mostly air.
Yeah, yeah. Then you have those moments. Like, no, you want like somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, you want that nice
You want
medium.
that middle. It's supposed to be both, but yeah, a lot
Yeah,
of the times it's just a lot. Well,
well, that's because
you know what?
people don't have the means to make baguettes in these like in these particular bakeries at certain like supermarkets.
I
Like,
have heard that New England has the correct water for hard crusted bread products, and that some places simply do not have. This is obviously no. I mean, someone
I,
from New England who had moved to the South told me this. But when people are
interesting.
like, "Oh, the New York City water is why their pizza is
Just
so
so good.
perfectly
Hmm.
crusty, you can't make New York City pizza anywhere else." I've heard that about all of our bread.
It's I don't know. It's kind of one of those weird toss-ups, man. Like it I don't necessarily know the science of it, but I do know that like uh particular bodies of water that are being used to make particular types of um baking items are definitely affected by that it's definitely affects the taste of whatever baking item you're making. But
How
like
about the firmness?
the firmness, that I don't know. So I actually used to work at a bakery, and from what and I didn't actually I was just a roller. I
I'm
wasn't
not
I
gonna say
wasn't
that I did.
Yeah, I roll dough all day, which ain't bad. It's a fun gig.
Cool.
It was a fun gig,
Yeah.
slap dough all day, and then and then you go outside and you smoke one, and then even though you're stoned, you don't feel incompetent at your job. you know
Because you're slapping dough.
because
Someone's got to slap dough.
you're just
And that
throwing
guy
dough.
might as well be stoned.
but uh but from what I understand, it's um it's the way that you get a nice solid crust on a bread is there's a method of spraying water on the outside of the
Sure.
bread, and
Yeah.
then the consistent heat, like over time, just eventually creates that nice crust on the outside, yet keeping everything soft in the middle. um
Yes. Yes.
so that's what I understand is like the way that they is the basis of getting that type of crust. But like as per like if the water type affects the crust, I honestly don't necessarily know. I know water types have
There's
flavors and people are picky about flavors, and there's
water types do have flavors.
dude there's like
There's some kind of process like that involving lye water that like pretzels and other things are usually.
yeah, I was thinking
Which
like,
I feel like if you did that wrong, you could
oh,
poison people.
you could God, what
For
was
real.
that scene in
Poison them to death.
what was that scene in Fight Club where like
Oh
Brad
yeah,
Pitt
the
kissed
lips,
Edward? Yeah.
the vagina kiss. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no. No, no.
Totally not. And I don't know if I don't know if something has changed in the past 20 years. I don't know if there's
Mm,
been some kind of safety regulation to sodium hydroxide or something, but like
mm,
I'm gonna say that that's bullshit. I'm gonna say that like unless because I don't know if the sodium hydroxide I get is like little tiny beads, and that's the only reason that's mainly the reason why I'm saying that's bullshit, because they
mm,
take like a little bit of a beating to even start to react and dissolve. So I
mm,
don't know if that's like a if it's like that for some safety reason I don't know about. And
no.
in the 90s there was just a powder you could put on a wet kiss that would burn you. But like once if he had taken a bowl of lye that he had just reacted and poured it on
Mm,
the guy's hand, but then he would have burned the whole hand. Anyway,
mm,
I think that scene is kind of bullshit. I have
uh,
discovered that a lot of things in Fight
mm,
Club are kind of bullshit.
yeah.
Maybe that's another type of journey.
We'll go down on the
Yeah.
realities of
How
Fight Club,
much?
like a breakdown of real world and a real world analysis of Fight Club. That'd be a
Yeah.
rough one. I think that's a little bit beyond my scope, but I'm down to to discuss it one of these days. I haven't seen that movie in like seven,
Unfortunately,
8 years.
demolishing 6 high-rise towers that are that for some reason are within the same 6-block area that are the
Yeah,
headquarters of all of the credit cards. That will not free us all from debt and slavery.
no, because they will
So
find another.
there are a lot of things in that movie, but I mean, also, but kind of the point of that movie is that Tyler an insane person, obviously.
Yeah, very much
part
so.
of part of the point of the movie is that everything he's saying is bullshit. Everything.
Yes.
That's kind of the entire point. But the thing is, I don't think I could not kiss a man on the hand and then pour some of my lye on his hand and burn him. Not with the material I have. So if you come to my kitchen, you're safe. I'm not gonna kiss you and burn you.
Please don't. There shall be no poison ivying. Very good. But oh, and excuse me, I didn't even like do the
Oh, the
actual
welcome.
the
Well,
welcome.
now we're becoming complacent because we
I
have
know.
that fine intro. But
I
please,
know.
what are
I
we
know.
doing here today
Oh
at
well,
5:30 on a Tuesday?
hey, well,
What do you usually do at 5:30 on a Tuesday afternoon?
at 5 Thursday at 5:30 on a Thursday afternoon, I usually
Tuesday.
say a Tuesday. It's what day is it? Who are you people? What is this?
What is happening?
Who are you? Uh, greetings, salutations. Welcome
Where's
everybody
the
to Thought That
breakfast?
Was Weird. I'm Klasky Csupo, and of course here, as always, the always amazing CuyaDK.
Hi,
Yep.
that's me.
Yeah, that's him. Uh, but yeah, today we're gonna be discussing the great animation studio, Klasky, and I've been told wrong now. Csupo, Klasky Csupo is the
Klasky
name.
Csupo.
Yes, even though after many years of mishearing that, that blows my mind. But but yeah, so Kuya's got like a whole little presentation for all of us. We got a couple of things on the docket for today. Like again, we were talking about bread just a second ago, and we've been talking about a handful of other things. Um, I was gonna say you also, if I'm not mistaken, you have some new bad dad news.
Yeah,
If
we're
I'm
gonna
right.
at first. Well, I think the news is that I said I wanted to do a couple different segments, and
Mm,
I don't. I want to do the bad dad segment every week if it's okay with you, unless we're
I'm
doing
down.
something that is, unless I don't do my homework one week.
Oh, and yeah,
So I have done a little bit. I mean, I knew a lot about Thanos. I kind of knew the whole most of the story, but I brushed up a little bit. So we're gonna talk about him today.
right on. Well, sh
We're not gonna do having a normal one.
yeah, and we need an intro for that too, because and I'll make it happen.
No,
Um,
no, we're not. We're never gonna do it. I
oh, we're
don't want.
never doing.
I'm not gonna do it. We're not gonna do it.
All right, fair enough.
I did like. I really
I
don't. I don't. It'll get too dark. Like it'll just. If
I
I talk
totally agree.
about real world celebrities and figures, it'll get disgusting.
It's gonna
It'll
get
be
yeah, it's
a
gonna get too real.
misanthropy Sunday. Yeah. So we're not gonna do that. I
Oh,
really because I sat down recently. I mean, you saw a
mm,
lot of the things I was saying. I
oh
can't.
yeah.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk about
We,
the.
we, we,
We're. I mean, There's a just yeah.
Somebody's gonna call Joe Rogan, and we're gonna get in some trouble or something.
As a matter of fact, like actually, like honestly, just within while we've been talking just now, I've come to I'm at a crossroads. I'm making a life decision. I'm deleting Twitter off of my phone right now.
Bud, dude, where's my phone?
That's it. You
It's
don't. No
dumb.
one is under any kind of pressure to do what I'm doing.
No, and it's same for
That's
me.
it.
But
That's it. It's not like it has become unhealthy.
I've just come down to the conclusion
Why?
that
It's gone.
I've never, the only time that I've ever actually used Twitter was to play at midnight when that show was around. It was like a
Oh, I don't know. Was it like a
it was the midnight show on Comedy Central with it was the guy who hosts The Talking Dead. Who's that guy?
Oh, okay. Yeah. I
Yeah,
know, yeah, but I know the guy, yeah.
yeah, he's in some shit and he ended up losing all that. But at midnight was super funny. He would have all these like random independent comedians and guest celebrities come in, and it was basically like improv, make fun of the funny things on the internet for the day. And then they would have this thing where you would have to like where they would ask like a question and you're supposed to come up with a joke answer. Um,
Right.
and
Okay.
I would do that
Sure.
I would do that every single week because I had fun coming up with terrible puns. Uh, but yeah, but yeah, ever since I didn't really use it, and the only reason I started using it now is because everybody and their parent, like everybody, even their grandmothers, are like, hey, if you're streaming, you gotta be on Twitter. You gotta, network on
Yeah,
Twitter.
right. No, oh my God. Boy.
And
Oh God.
how often I read like oh, all these people don't like all these streamers don't go onto Twitter, they're low class, they're not doing everything they can to spread the you know to expose their
Sure. And
stuff. Yeah.
and it's not they're not 100% wrong.
No.
But you don't but there is people will tell you get on every and I tried doing stuff like this. Get on every social media,
Mm.
post every day, make a schedule, post this time of day on these ones, post this time of day here and if you're not doing that, you don't want to succeed. And
Mm.
well, I don't want to succeed, I guess. And that's
I'm
where I landed.
I'm
That's
I'm
because all that shit was real annoying, especially with how terrible everything that everyone says is.
it's only getting wilder, dude. Like,
It's terrible. Like that was it. Me looking up the
mm,
individual that I don't want to talk to and seeing some of the things he has said on Twitter lately, I was like, "Oh, well, I guess I don't want to be a part of this society. I
I
guess
would
I'm quietly seceding."
I quietly seceding. I'm
Peace. I'm a fucking ghost.
I don't know. And again, I didn't really make that many connections on there. Most of them were bot people trying to sell me overlays.
Oh my God. And I made when the whole Elon thing happened, I made a second and the second account is why I just came to that decision. I made a
Mm.
second account just to see what a
Mm,
newcomer
right?
with I didn't follow anyone I knew. I just wanted to see what would happen to a new account, someone joining Twitter.
Yeah.
And the notifications that account is receiving are that was the final straw. That was me. That was what made me finally go, okay, that's it. No more Twitter on either account on the phone because it's poison either way. I hope Elon Musk gets very sick. Boy, should I not say things like that? I'm gonna have to refill my drink again.
Go refill
Yeah,
your drink.
thanks for having me here, man. Awesome
I
to
will
be
do
here.
cleanup while
5:30
you
on
go refill
Tuesdays.
your drink. uh,
Oh, look at you two are so cute.
you know exactly what you came into, Tony. You know what this was. Again, um, dude. Yeah, I would say he wants some. What does Maria Bamford say? On an island, not harmed, just on an island where he cannot make any sort of judgments about anything or do anything except for live on said island and just be isolated. I'd be perfectly content with that. He can. But anyway, good to see you.
LSD.
Good to see you, Tony. But dude, don't worry. I smoothed it over with everybody. Man, the chat's blowing up. People are freaking out, man.
You know who Grimes is, right?
The singer, yeah, right? Or is
Yeah,
she a
she was
producer?
married to
Yeah.
Elon Musk.
They're the one
She
that had
divorced his ass.
They're the one that had the HP printer baby or whatever. Yeah.
Yes. So he tweeted recently, 1 year
Mm.
ago, I was Forbes's Man of the Year or whatever. And she replied to it and said, 1 year ago, I was in love with you.
Dude, that's gotta hurt more than.
Oh my God. It must be, he must be in hell. It must be terrible. Like, it's like so obvious that he wants people to be impressed with him. And like, can you imagine reading all of that about yourself? And you know he is.
Oh yeah.
You know he is. There's no way it's not affecting him.
Oh, dude. I mean that's
Oh my,
anybody dealing with that type of notoriety and doing things that are necessary of backlash against
God, like just
these things.
bad time to be alive.
Bad
If you're,
form all around.
yo, so here's a piece of modern wisdom. Every day there is a main character on Twitter. Your goal every day is to not be the main character. However, there are some people whose goal it is to be that main character, and those are the people well, they end up learning their lessons, so I don't know.
Like,
we make our own hells for real.
We make our own hells, and hell is other people, so we're just surrounded in hell. Or something like that.
Hell is other people, but we can only find heaven together.
Is that the whole phrase?
Yeah, remember there's a bunch of those that have kind of dropped out of modern usage.
We've talked about
because
that.
Of some manufactured misery conspiracy. But yeah, there's a bunch of phrases like that where we've dropped out. We've dropped the hopeful part. As a society, we've given up on hope. Really, that's what it's indicative of. I'm trying to be less misanthropic. It's been the year's off to a great start as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, dude, it's been a good start for me too. But I dude, I'm not gonna lie. I'm in that winter blues slump. Like, I'm.
Oh man, January is heavy.
Oh, dude, and the thing is, like, there's not even any snow, and that's what's killing me. Is that like the snow and everything else makes it worse.
Yeah, maybe there won't be snow ever again.
No,
maybe that's it. Maybe snow is over with.
Every single year.
I guess that was nice. I told you that's what the plaque on my front yard is gonna say when the world is a cinder. That was nice.
That was nice.
That's what I'm gonna leave behind. That's my message. That's how I felt about this planet.
It's all right.
Yeah, it was nice. That was kind of cool.
Kind of. No, it should just be kind of cool.
Well, you know what Douglas Adams said.
Well, then they'll think that somebody said that about you. No, it should.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So. It should be like existence and then like semicolon, kind of cool. Or colon, I should say.
That's right. Yeah.
Existence, kind of cool.
It's gonna say CuyaDK.tv on existence.
Indeed. But yeah. So let's. You feel like talking about some bad dads after you rip that?
Oh, you want?
Or you want to save that for the middle of the discussion?
Only because of the numbers of the slides. Okay. You want to do dads first? You want to roll the dad intro?
Dude, let's roll the dad intro, and you know what?
Like, all right, let's roll that
I think
footage.
I think that's Yeah, I think we'll have dads lead into everything else if that's cool. So yeah,
Love it.
let's do it. Dads.
Bad dads. All dads are bad. Dads are being bad. Super bad dads. All dads are bad.
Right on. And so yeah, we're gonna be talking about some bad dads today. What dad are we talking about today?
Oh, we're gonna talk about Thanos, the Mad Titan.
So is it Thanos or Thanos? I've always heard like a toss up on what one it's supposed to be.
Wow, I can't believe I don't really know what they say in the movies. I wonder if they say only one of those things.
As far as I remember,
Probably.
I thought it was Thanos. Like a yeah. I don't know. Potato,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
It should yeah. I feel like it's probably Thanos. Probably most people would say that. But I've definitely heard Thanos, and I feel like I might say Thanos. I feel like that might be what it is from reading. You know what? You know what? Oh man, there's definitely some parable about how there are these. When you see a movie like this, especially a fantasy movie, and there's all these words that you've read in the book and you've
Right.
made up your own pronunciations for, and then people are saying them in the movie, and everything is wrong.
Berenstein and Berenstain.
And what and you know about why those two things are right?
Yeah,
Are we looping back to an earlier topic?
we're gonna go talk about the Mandela effect again.
Right. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right.
But
They talk about that in Peacemaker, which also features one of the most terrible dads.
oh really?
Thanos might be the worst one. It's gonna come down to fuck.
Would your lighter break? Is it out?
I think it might be out.
Oh.
Maybe not all the way. It's gonna come down to. It's gonna come down to: is it worse to just not even notice your children and then murder them, like lots of them? Like on a ridiculous scale. Is it worse to just like if someone was like, I want you to go out and be the worst father imaginable.
Hey Zeno, thanks for the follow, bud. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Right on.
How you doing?
Zeno's a dear friend. I've been playing Fallout 76 with him for like we just realized for like years. So yeah, good to see you, Zeno. Thanks for hopping in.
Mothman butt.
That Mothman butt.
That classic Mothman butt.
Oh. I wish I could yeah, for almost 5 years, but I wish I could remember how to do the Mothman dance from 76, but I haven't played in a minute. But anyway, so Thanos what
is it worse? If I said to you, I want you to go out and be the worst dad possible, would you either produce hundreds of children and then murder them all in a spectacle, or would you produce like one child and torture him mentally for his entire life until you use him to instrumentalize the end of the world and your own ascent to godhood, which you fuck up? I'm not totally I mean, I guess it's Thanos. We might have a winner. I didn't, and you know what? The funny thing is that, like, what I just said isn't even something people associate with him. When I say Thanos is a bad dad, you might think of Nebula and Gamora here. You know what he did to them, do you?
I actually don't. I haven't caught up with those movies.
He forced them to fight all the time. They were adopted daughters. He forced them to fight all the time, and when one of them would lose, and it was always Nebula, he would remove a part of her body and replace it with cybernetics. And he thought he was going to either improve her to be better through cybernetics or teach her, probably both. He's a psychopath. He was probably just doing this for fun. But everyone is like, he's known because he kills Gamora. He kills his daughter. He's like, and then he sees her in like the weird blood dimension, the soul dimension or whatever. And the very big famous Thanos thing is she's like, did you succeed? And he's like, yes. And she's like, what did it cost you? He like sheds a single tear. And he's like, everything. Fuck Thanos. Who gives a shit, Thanos? Nobody cares about you. Everyone, nobody cares that you're sad, you piece of shit. None of your shit made sense. It was bullshit. Fascist monster.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
People know that he killed Gamora and that it cost him everything, but then he did. In his early life, he sired hundreds, maybe thousands of children, and because he thought he was going to build some kind of empire, this may or may not be after he returned to Titan to destroy the entire civilization that he came from after murdering thousands of his children. One of them got away.
Shit.
Oh, actually, also, then he made a bunch of clones of himself, which we have a slide for.
Oh, which slide was that? Oh, yes.
I don't know. But with the next slides are the clones. He made a bunch of clones of himself, killed them too.
Say what?
Thanos. Oh, but which?
Thanos.
Nows?
Yeah.
Thanos. I mean, the fact that there's that W, it doesn't really show which of those syllables. Thanos. Now I'm not gonna. Now it doesn't sound like a word at all.
No.
One of the clones, yeah, all of these clones, by the way, this was a terrible thing to do. What kind of an idiotic psychopath makes a bunch of clones of himself mixed with the DNA of the most dangerous people in the world. Here we've got Galactus, obviously. Also in that image is like Doctor Strange and a guy named Goliath, I think. Goliath? That hasn't been in the movies yet. Is he?
I have no idea.
I feel like Goliath is not correct. There's a Kree or a Shi'ar guy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't think Goliath is, but there's, you know who the Shi'ar were? They were, Professor X had sex with an alien lady. She was the queen of the Shi'ar. Gladiator, maybe. Anyway.
Yeah, no, I have no clue.
The most dangerous people in the universe. But then, so then there's a whole, then he has to get a team of Avengers together to go kill his Galactus clone son. And then he hunts his own son down on Earth and somehow accidentally turns his own clones, or not clone son. This is the son that escaped the original batch of children that Thanos killed.
Interesting.
Thane, son of Thanos. That might be. This is only recent. Thane only came around in 2014 or 15.
Really?
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, this slide right here? Who's this cat?
That's him. That's Thane.
Thane. Okay.
Yeah. And so I don't know if the fact that this character is clearly called Thane with an E, that might be. I may have kind of. I never had to say the word Thanos out loud until 2014 or so.
This is true.
So it may be because of this guy that I like to call him Thanos. Thanos. That probably means like Thanos, but I would like to know which of those syllables has the emphasis on it.
The nows.
As at around 415 or Thanos.
Something like that.
Around this time, when I was reading comic books, Thane defeated Thanos and trapped him in a cube. Thanos is either always getting turned to stone or trapped in a cube. How many times has someone tried to turn you into stone or trap you in a cube?
I'm just thinking about how that's a common comic trope in general.
You got to be a pretty bad guy for someone to trap you in a cube
and then throw you into like the recesses of space or something like that, right?
Yeah. Ban you to the shadow dimension. It's always happening to Thanos. That's what a bad dad is. He's such a bad. I'm thinking about all these dads. I can't believe I'm gonna have to put Jamie Kennedy. I mean Lannister. I can't believe that Jamie Lannister. I'm going to be forced to place Jamie Lannister as the best bad dad of all time. I can't believe I have gone out of my way to invent a category that I can put my most hated fictional character at the top of by being the best of the bunch by accident. Jamie Lannister can suck my asshole until my head caves in, and so can Thanos, the Mad Titan. He was the first person that he murdered might have been his fucking mother, and not in the traditional sense of, oh, I'm a bad dad and you killed your mother when you came into this world. No, he was like 25 and he was like, you know what, mom, fuck you, I'm out of here.
What?
Cuts her up on the way out. So
Jeez.
eat it, Thanos. Anyone who says Thanos was right is fucking dumb. I'm not even gonna say mean or fascist or cruel. Dumb assholes. I hate everybody. I hate the whole world.
Uh, that was a good bad dads. That was all dads are bad. That was great.
In some amount of months, we will rank all of the dads, and I'm gonna have to. I'm
I'm gonna be
gonna
ready
like.
for that. I'm gonna be ready
I'm
for
gonna
that.
wedge. I'm gonna figure out some way to lever. I'm gonna figure out some way in which Jamie Kennedy did some kind. Wow, why is that happening?
Because we had
I'm
that
gonna
long
find some
discussion.
way.
We had that long discussion about the mask
Yeah.
or the return or
Oh,
son of
he
mask.
leaves. He leaves the baby home with a eldritch demon and a dog. The dog gets possessed. Oh no, the baby has, because it's mask. Do you remember how the baby comes to be? It's because he's wearing the mask when
I mean,
the baby is conceived.
I saw the. Wait, he was wearing the mask when the baby was conceived.
Oh, yes. Oh yeah. Yeah.
That's the bit.
So the
That's
baby
the
doesn't
bit.
need to be wearing the mask. So then the dog is wearing the mask, and they're trying to kill each other in the house like a cartoon show. Yeah, no, the baby is literally the son of the mask. Yeah. Oh
Wow.
yeah, that movie's great.
Oh man.
Wow.
But yeah, so
Pretty
yeah,
bad dad.
that's
Also, Loki. That's Loki. Loki, we definitely could do a. Loki's probably. I don't know.
somewhere on that list.
I don't know if you call Loki your dad or your mom if he, she, they gives birth to you.
I was gonna say they no,
Loki gave birth to a couple beings. And also appears as a woman from time to time, so it's, you know.
oh, I didn't realize that was part of the lore of Loki. I learned something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Loki definitely gave birth to. Loki definitely like turns into a horse to get knocked up and produce like magical horses or whatever.
I thought that was
I
Zeus.
don't
I
I
thought that was
obviously I don't have the stories in front of me.
I was gonna, wait, no, Zeus pretended Zeus
A
was a
lady
bull.
wanted to get fucked by Zeus so bad. A lady noticed that her cows were getting pregnant with minotaurs, which means Zeus has been around. She wanted to get fucked by Zeus so bad that she made a paper mache cow and hid inside of it, and she did get fucked by Zeus
Wow.
because he thought she was a cow. And then Zeus's wife got mad and turned her into a cow, and they named a moon of Jupiter after her. That was Io. And also then there was a minotaur.
Interesting. Now, I need to. I haven't touched anything in mythology since like Brit Lit in high school, but like that's super interesting. I didn't realize that was like the entirety of the rest of that story. That's a fun one. But
I want to get fucked by God so bad. And I've noticed that my cows are getting pregnant with minotaurs.
you know, instead of a Trojan horse, the Trojan cow.
Just a harebrained scheme.
It makes me think about Ace Ventura: Pet Detective when he's in the rhino.
Oh my god.
He's
Yeah. That's exactly what when I imagine that cow she made. I imagine it looking like the most harebrained piece of shit. And Zeus is in the bushes like, oh yeah.
oh, dude.
Get that cow.
But so yeah, I guess we'll go move to the bigger TV and we'll yeah, we'll get started on this discussion of probably one of my favorite animation studios, Klasky Csupo. Csupo. So yeah,
And it
welcome.
and it and it and it was weird. It was so weird.
Mm-hmm. So
Like, and
yeah.
there was something about the the particular style was very unique. And I'm actually, I'll mention a few things that I thought were done by this company that turned out not to be.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I guess we don't. I kind of was gonna mention Rocco's Modern Life just because there's a video game that they made out of it, but
Wait, was that
I
also
felt
the same company?
no. Rocco's Modern
I
Life
thought
was not made by Klasky Csupo.
I thought that was a different company. Okay.
It is. It is. Yeah. And there's a bunch. And Cow and Chicken, like I said, was not by Klasky Csupo. Although that show is very close to the weird style. But it was such a. The thing is that there wasn't. It's almost like it almost shows more of a devotion to the craft. That there weren't like there weren't these uniform. I'm not sure what if I knew technically more about animation, I might have a more exact way to describe what it is about how these shows all looked. But like they
Mm-hmm.
all looked like they're like, they were uniform in the sense and there was a style, but it
Oh
was
yeah.
mushy. It was like all over the
Mush.
place and like all of it's not like in Family Guy, there's always that like the solid background of the kitchen you always see. The characters
Mm-hmm.
are just rigid. You can tell that only their mouths are being animated. And that's a bad example because it's a poorly animated show. But think of a lot of modern animation. This is like so, and it's like, it's almost like, and I hate to, and it's not that it's bad. It really isn't at all. And I hate that what I'm about to say is what it looks like, but it looks like if I was holding a pencil in my fist and I had to really quickly draw a bunch of babies and bizarre animals and I was drawing them on a huge pad of paper just like this. Like
Mm-hmm.
that is like
Yeah.
it's rough and it's mushy and it's strange and it's
Mm-hmm.
it's a signature style, and part of the problem is that I was exposed to it as a child and I have it's so much weird shit, seeped into my brain pathways.
Your
What's the
mind
next slide?
grapes.
Yeah, so here's some slides from their most first. Actually, no. The first thing is I didn't even know about this.
Hmm.
Who are these characters?
So they had a hand in the original animations of The Simpsons.
Yes,
Oh, I didn't realize that.
this was on a program called The Tracy Ullman Show, which was on
Oh,
Saturday nights.
that's how they started. That's right. That's right.
Yes, and these were like 15-second shorts.
Mm-hmm.
This is what the characters looked like. Matt Groening, by the way, you ever read Life in Hell? You can
Yeah,
follow it on Twitter.
the the bun.
The bunnies, the
Yeah,
bunnies,
yeah.
awesome,
Dude, such a
awesome comic strip.
yeah.
The fact that my parents, I would like to get an anthology of that and be like, hey parents, you guys let me read this when I was like 10 or 11. What do you think about some of the stuff Matt Groening is saying?
Oh man.
Because it's very just not, I don't want to say anti-society, but just anti-authoritarian,
Mm,
what do you call it when all the men are in charge? Just, yeah,
uh,
anti-patriarchy, just
mm,
kind of uh anti-orthodoxy,
mm.
kind of, the soulless minions of orthodoxy. But he just, so much of that comic is just about so many things that are still wrong with society
Mm.
and the way people treat each other and why we've made our lives hell,
And
like
and and
why we make
actually,
each other's lives hell.
I was gonna say, funny side note. You know, Matt Groening is actually a reverend in the Church of the Subgenius.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I like Matt Groening. I
Oh
don't
yeah,
know
Matt
what's
Groening's
going on
great.
with The Simpsons on TV. Is it still, it's
It,
still happening?
it's
That's
still
insane
going.
to me.
It's kind of what's happening with with like Seth MacFarlane is that he still has the name on the show. He
Oh, right.
still
Yeah. Oh,
does
yeah,
the
yeah.
voices. It's just he's kind of checked out in the writers' room, and
I'm
even
just
he's
amazed that The Simpsons is still on. Period. It's got to be 30 years.
it's
30
it's
years of The Simpsons.
oh
That's
it's
a what the fuck? How the fuck does a TV show do 30
yeah
years?
30 plus years, dude. Yeah, give or take.
You know about Don Hertzfeld?
Yeah, the
You do, of course you do.
yeah, I think we talked about it before, but
Look up later on,
mm,
later on tonight. Look up the Don Hertzfeld couch gag.
I think I saw that and it was trippy as hell. I loved it.
Oh
I loved it.
boy, it's yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those weird like
I like that
crumpled
guy.
paper drawings,
Yep.
like stuff. Yeah, I remember those. Those are
And
fun. That was funny.
it keeps going like thousands of years into the future when The Simpsons is still on, and it just gets weirder and more fucked up. And it keeps jumping. It shows many iterations over thousands. It's like All Tomorrows, except this. Really?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because eventually Maggie's just like a fucking tentacle baby thing.
Floating blob. They all
Yeah.
become different things. Yeah, it's insane. It's so good. Yeah, so that's what I almost said their first and most famous thing, but their first and most famous thing is of course Rugrats, which I like. Tommy Pickles.
Yeah.
I have nightmares about Tommy Pickles. I don't know if I feel like I can hear. Did he say this a lot? I feel like I can hear this slide. I can hear him saying a baby's got to do what a baby's got to do.
Oh, absolutely.
He had a screwdriver in that diaper.
All the time.
He had stolen a screwdriver. He had stolen a screwdriver from his dad's workbench.
Now, see, if I remember correctly, I thought it was like a toy screwdriver.
It was, but he was a smart enough baby to use the toy screwdriver to get into trouble, to get out of the baby jail they were in.
It's at that point you would think they would come up with better, like a better playpen area for the kids, or something.
Yeah, because they were always, and their lives were always in danger.
Oh yeah, there's always something happening.
I'm having trouble really putting my finger on what it was about. Well, you know what? Is the dog the next slide?
Yeah.
This might be one of the reasons that this show and everything by this show kind of has sunk into my brain, and I find just an image of Tommy is a little bit scary to me. And it might be because there were things like this dog on the show. Like, just like, and this is also why I'm saying there's like a dedication to the craft, because like there was always some completely new horrible monster or awful looking thing. And this was an early Nicktoon. This was a contemporary of Ren and Stimpy, which, you know, that show would take extra effort to show a gross like body part, or a man in his underwear with pubes sticking out or stuff.
Right.
But like that was gross. Rugrats was scary. And like that's my thesis.
You remember Satchmo?
No, Satchmo?
Satchmo,
No, maybe not.
The trumpet player? No, the monster. So the kids misheard their parents talking about Sasquatch.
Okay.
And so the kids, oh God, I believe Satchmo is the nickname of Louis Armstrong, and
okay.
And so the kids are like freaked out because they're afraid that like the Sasquatch is around, but they keep calling him Satchmo. And they like every time they go up to an adult and say like, hey, we gotta watch out, Satchmo's coming from us. They go, Satchmo, the trumpet player? No, the monster. Oh. I don't know. There was something like hilariously perfect about that pun that I love to this day.
Yeah,
love to this.
That's
day.
very funny.
I
like that. I like that format a lot. I like saying, yeah, when the punchline is no the monster or like no the maniac or something like that. Yeah, I love that. It's too bad I didn't get a slide of Reptar. Reptar's not scary, but is a beloved kind of a beloved icon from this show.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I
Tommy was
also did not.
Tommy was definitely the pretty much the star of the show though. Like he
Oh
was
yeah, well yeah, yeah. This I feel like he was a hanging from
it,
like he was. Oh, this might have been some invention. His dad was also always inventing dangerous things that would threaten the children's life. This
dangerous
might have been some
toys.
kind of
He was a toy
remote
maker.
controlled helicopter. He was a toy maker. Yeah. Uh, Pickles. What was? Yeah.
Drew
I'm
Pickles.
trying. Drew
Oh wait, no,
Pickles.
Drew was his brother. Stu was the name of the father.
Stu Pickles. Yes, Stu Pickles, the
There was
insane
Drew,
inventor.
Stu, and Lou was the dad, the grandpa.
Okay. Okay. Oh God, Lou Pickles. I also, yeah, man, I should. Lou Pickles is a creepy looking guy. I can't believe I don't have a slide of him either.
15 miles
Do I not
uphill.
have a?
You don't have a slide of
I don't
Grandpa
have a slide
Pickles.
of everybody. No, I don't. Do I? Oh
I mean,
well.
I mean, you got a slide of everybody and the playpen. It looks like kind of from a PlayStation from the PlayStation game, I think.
This is from a. This may have been on PlayStation. I think this was a PC game. It was a point and click game,
Oh,
and this is
nice.
why I ended up thinking about this. Is why I ended up discovering or like a memory triggered of the fact that there was a Real Monsters game.
Hmm.
And I also found out that there was a Duckman point and click game. It was supposed to be released on PlayStation. It never was. I think it may have only been released on like it may have only been released on PC in like German,
Hmm.
like in the German language. Like there might not even
Uh,
be like an English version language of it may not have been
well, well,
published.
here's the thing. Do you want me to spoil it now, or do you want me to?
Duckman game?
Dude, I found it.
Go ahead. You
Well,
have it?
no, I don't have it, but I ended up
Okay.
I ended up finding
Yeah.
this really
Tell me about
funny
it.
scene from the Duckman game, and I thought and I didn't know this existed either, and that's why I was like excited to tell you about this. But I'm glad that you knew about this too, though. But this was really interesting to find. But here's a little snippet from it.
This is all your Aunt Bernice is doing, isn't it? Ah, if I had killed that woman when I first met her, I'd be getting out of prison right about now.
The person who ordered the fence built said, and I quote, "If your father plans to continue to ignore his family and spend weeks, sometimes months, off at the flesh pit he calls a health spa, then I don't want his sorry ass anywhere near here." End quote.
Like, so the basis is that like Duckman like has gained the notoriety that he's always wanted, and he ends up at this health spa, and it's like a point and click game. You end up getting kicked out of the health spa, and you have to go back home. um,
Was that Jason Alexander and
so
Dweezil Zappa?
so here's the thing that actually I don't believe that was Dweezil either, but I didn't double check. But I know for a fact that that's not Jason Alexander. That is I
Yeah,
forgot the name.
I kind of thought it was not.
I forgot the name of
Hank
the gentleman,
Azaria?
but he's been in a handful. Actually, in the Arkham games, the guy that's playing Duckman is actually also the voice of Commissioner Gordon in the Arkham games, or at least
Okay,
one of the
okay.
Arkham games, I think.
Interesting.
But yeah, fun side fact. But yeah, I thought I'd share that one for you. Where is it? Oh, didn't mean to click off like that. But
Oh yeah.
yeah, are we gonna move on to Aria Monsters or?
Sure.
All right.
This one I like I would like to watch this again. I have
too.
I know that I watched it a lot. A lot of it came back to me as I was playing the game this morning. I do have proof. The proof is right here. What's up, Weaves?
Hey, Weebs. But yeah, I missed the show. and I miss how they.
They're doing bad. Spectrum's doing bad. Sorry, go ahead.
What's going on? Oh, I just want to make sure you're cool. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I'm fine. I'm fine.
I've just generally missed this show. I haven't seen in a long time. I remember particularly liking it a lot, and then having uh, like it was considered like and I hate to sound like I'm analyzing it like this, but it was amongst my friend group when we were in elementary school. This was like considered the low brow of the cartoon spectrum. Nobody liked this show, and I'm like, are you kidding? This is great.
Yeah, no, and it was. You're right though. That's like how I didn't. I was trying not to describe it as mushy or sloppy, but
Yeah.
this one especially is, and it had
Oh
like
yeah.
a reputation of like even among children. Like I feel like my parents were like, "Oh God, why are you watching that?" This and the real Ghostbusters. Like my parents really did not like that I liked these shows. They were like,
Yeah.
"You're always watching gross goblin monster shows with snot and noses."
I remember I
And
had
this show is not popular in my home.
no. No, it was
Weird,
yeah,
weird.
neither with me.
Safe as milk.
Safe as milk. But yeah, no, that like yeah, amongst my friends this one was not very well received. I really liked this show a lot.
Insanely creative, I think.
I thought so
Just
too.
insanely creative.
Especially considering the kind of subplot with what's his name? Ick, the bunny dude.
Icus.
Ickus. Yeah,
Icus, Oblina, and Crumb.
Crumb. Yes. Crumb
What's it? And the
I was
Grumpus,
particularly a
the
big
Grunkle. I don't know what
Oh,
the teacher's name is.
I thought it was the Grumble,
The Grankin, the Grumpkin.
something like that. Name
Is there some weird? Am I trying not to say some weird sexual move? What's a
the
Blumpkin?
Grumble.
The Gromble. The Gromble. Yeah. Okay. I
Dude.
have the instructions for the video game. I like the Gromble a lot. I like these characters so much.
Oh
Like
yeah.
this in particular
Mm.
was an inspiration to me to begin drawing. Too bad art is dead. I might have. Too bad I'll never draw again in the age of AI. Oh well.
I,
Oh well. Can't just like winter. Can't have winter forever. I guess. Can't
something
have art and winter forever.
I find the whole like AI thing super fascinating, and I think it's gonna fizzle out. Like before we end up like really getting into it, and before we start like oh, the first AI made cartoon series, it's gonna end up fizzling out, man. Because like
Maybe.
there's gotta be like as much as I hate being that
And
guy
then
that says
something else will come along.
there's gotta be art and heart and soul to something. And as much as an AI can try and do that, and I've seen AI make some pretty interesting pieces. It's not like it's not it's and I'm not gonna sit here and say that I can tell the difference or be like that dude from art or some shit. Hey TB, what's going on? Oh dude, T1BG, what's going on, bud?
Winter. They take winter first,
Winter arts in the void.
and then that's it. And then that's where we're all going anyway.
We're donezo, man. It's game over.
What do I do? Should I try to get rid of this sense of misanthropy and nihilism, or should I just roll with it? What do you think? What do you think, T1BG? Is this it? Is Doomer? Have I just been fighting off Doomer Koya the whole time, and now I'm here? You wanted Doomer Koya? Did I?
You want to
They
do
already
Mercoya.
they already have AI rappers.
What?
I heard someone got in big trouble. Maybe not
Yo, I
big
heard
trouble.
about that.
There's
Yeah,
some lawsuit involving an AI children's book that was published, and then
I heard about the AI rappers.
maybe self-published, and then that guy got in trouble because he wasn't supposed to do that. But AI rappers sounds likely. Yeah,
Yeah,
you can
yeah,
have an AI, read your script and be
and
the voice of your like
it,
YouTube channel.
and I think what it was is that it was almost like the whatchamacallit, the one AI, that the Twitter bot that you could talk to, and then eventually just start saying the N word all the time and saying that Hitler did nothing wrong and really awful shit like that.
Oh, that was a Twitch streamer. That was an AI VTuber that would talk to chat and play Minecraft. The AI would build houses and stay alive and get materials and hoard them in Minecraft while talking about Minecraft and about how Hitler did nothing wrong.
That's fucking terrible,
2023,
dude.
motherfucker.
Uh,
Fucking like
Uncanny
nothing good is,
Universe.
if that fizzles out, nothing good is coming next. Like I just
Mm.
like I am looking at a downward slope, and I agree. Passionate delusion in the face of an uncaring universe. I've just been. It's January. January is very heavy. It's gonna
Yeah,
be. You
it's winter
all
time,
know.
dude.
You got. We know. It's gonna
Mm.
be. It's all
It's going
at
all
the
right.
end. At the end, I'm gonna say that was great.
Dude, we've got all these other, like, you know, we've got things going for us, like, positivity and, you know, I mean, can an AI make the intro to the All Dads Are Bad? Like, can that AI can't make an intro like that?
I do really want to try and just start having an AI make some garbage content and just start a like I had a secret Twitter account, just start a YouTube channel with my
Mm,
second Google email and just AI garbage and
mm.
just see what happens. Maybe I shouldn't be talking about
I
what
know.
my maybe I shouldn't talk about my secret projects. I don't know, but yeah.
No, the government's on to you, man. But
I don't want to end up like that dude who's in trouble for publishing a children's book full of AI fucking images. Jesus.
not a
Just
wise
like,
decision.
this is why we can't have nice things.
Nope.
Like, someone has to yeah. Because everyone needs to get a slice of pie.
Every,
Everyone needs a slice of the pie.
oh man,
The
I loved.
AI thing and the scraping of artists that did not consent to it is because
Yeah.
part of it was the people creating the AIs were like, you're not allowed to make money. The agreement was always, no one's allowed to make money off of the images
Mm,
that these create. But of course people are like, this is so great. And then there are people that are like, they use the AI to make the image, and then
mm.
they're like, yes, but I changed the levels in Photoshop, or I took 5 AI images and sliced them and put them together in Photoshop to make this image, so it's mine. And that's where it becomes very sticky.
Mm. It's
Very, very sticky at that. and
yeah.
then and then because at some point, because people are just going to do anything that they can to get around it and say, no, I did this. If they get caught and they say,
Well, I mean, if I
it
end up getting,
started with AI.
mhm.
No, please.
Well, I was gonna say, if I end up getting caught, like, for, the two dudes in the couch that we're sitting on, let alone the
Yeah.
TV behind us.
Yeah, who
Um,
are these dudes? Just GIS.
it was just some random clip art
Sure.
from Google somewhere that was
Yeah,
copyright
I
free.
mean, do you know if it was copyright? You actually know that there's
Well,
no license on this.
I'm still confused on those aspects, because, like, I only know, like, a handful of things about music copyright, and then
Sure.
as it pertains to, like, art copyright and things like that, I think
Because
I think I'm
I
pretty
definitely
good.
just take all these images from Google, and I
Oh, that
definitely don't have the license to show them. So,
I mean, here's the thing: is that we're discussing them. Like,
right. Oh, that's right. This is transformative. Yes.
yes,
This is for
this
review
technically
purposes,
this
they used to
review and
say.
critical, yeah.
Yeah.
So we are allowed to use these images and small sequences from shows and games, but as far as I understand, like, yeah, it's it's mostly like like these, again, like these little dudes that we're sitting on top of. again, as far as I read, they're copyright free, but I
Well,
don't
that's
know.
good. I mean, if you actually, it's good to actually try to, source your images, and that's almost part of why I was talking earlier about trying to do it all in house, which becomes impossible. But
It gets hard.
I think it's good. It's good to at least try. It's good to at least try
Mm,
to credit your sources and try to
right.
know that you're using images that are there for that purpose. And it's good to, it's good to at least be aware. So
Hmm. I try to be conscientious about it, but anyway, wild thornberries, probably
yeah, this guy said smashing, huh?
smashing.
That was his whole,
Yeah.
that's the whole vibe. That's like really Rugrats and Real Monsters I watched a lot, and those are really in my head. This I
Mm.
feel like I was starting to be in high school, and I don't
Oh.
really know what it was about, but I remember that guy saying
It,
smashing.
it's basically the story was that you got Nigel Thornberry, who played by Tim Curry, by the way.
Oh, awesome.
Oh,
Oh,
dude,
I love that guy.
funny thing that I also figured out, Tim Curry, like throughout the '90s, Tim Curry just did like bunches of voiceover work, and a handful of them were Klasky Csupo's bits, or yeah, animation bits.
Oh,
Like, do you remember King Chicken in Duckman?
yes. Yes,
He
I
was
do.
yeah,
Yep.
that was Tim Curry with
Boy,
an American
Duckman was
accent.
cool.
He faked a Southern accent for the King Chicken voice. Um,
That's great.
he's got some range. He actually also did the original Joker. I don't know if you ever saw that animation. Oh,
Original? How
the
original?
original animated series Joker. He was in line with it was between him
Like
and
in the
Hamill.
60s?
No, in the
Oh, oh.
90s, the animated series. Oh wait, I forgot there was a
Wait,
60s animated series. You're absolutely right.
before Hamill?
Well,
Or
they had Tim
or
Curry
just
in
in
to
line before Hamill?
they had him. It was basically like neck and neck with Hamill and Curry, and they ended up going with Hamill. But
Oh, okay, okay,
or they
okay.
ended up
Yeah.
finding Hamill last second,
That
and then he ended up like
that
taking the
makes
top
I mean
spot.
that would have been a great Tim Curry role, but obviously
There's some screen
Hamill was
tests of it.
insane too.
There's some screen tests
That's
of it somewhere.
awesome.
Yeah, I'll send them to you after the show. But the story was they got Nigel Thornberry here. Uh he's like a Nat Geo photographer. Him and his wife have been on the around the road going country to country for years upon years, so much so that they've started their own family. They
Weirdest looking style. I
I
don't even know
know.
what to say about the style of this
Look at that
studio.
chin.
Just
That chin.
insane. Look at his fucking teeth in every part of his head.
Like the most like British looking caricature you could possibly pull off.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he would they would go around the world and they end up finding they ended up the youngest daughter Eliza ends up like getting cursed by a shaman to well I guess cursed, but she's able to speak with animals and
Oh, she's got a monkey that she's friends with.
yeah
How come there's a human monkey and then a bunch of very animal baboons?
so they do the general show out in like nature doing the Nat Geo thing, and so like the adventures are like they would go to these different countries, and then Eliza would have the means of talking to like really rare animals that her father was trying to find to document, but she would end up finding them first because she could talk to the animals and say hey, have you seen this animal? Okay, cool, I'm gonna go over there and find it, basically. uh but like the one monkey was like the first animal that she was able to talk to, and they became so close that they became part of the family. Later on, they ended up finding uh, the uh, the boy in the cheetah pants.
Cow.
God, there's Darwin's the monkey, and I forgot what the boy's name was, but they ended up finding
It's
this kid.
not.
He was like a wild tribe kid. I
Yeah,
get
you know who
if I
Gao
remember
is.
correctly, I think he was a wild tribe kid. I don't believe that was their son. He was a wild tribe kid that they ended up finding, and he speaks in pure gibberish. But
Um,
yeah, it's a fun show.
yeah, Gao is a character from Final Fantasy VI.
Gao.
Gao, and he was wild child raised by wolves or whatever.
Mm.
A child of the wilds.
A child of the
So
wild.
that's who that's either Chucky from Rugrats or Gao in my head.
Oh, and who played Chucky? Oh God. And there's also like and weird side note, like, do you know that the original woman who did the voice of Chucky, she passed away like like sometime in the 2000,
Recently?
no, sometime in the
Okay.
like the
Oh,
early
okay.
2000s or something like that, and it's like a mystery. Nobody knows what happened to her. She
Oh.
and yeah, it's there's some like weird suggestions that she was like um uh got like sworn into some like weird like Hollywood cult or something like that, and things were going awry, and she was trying to get out of it, and they ended up, and then like weird things happened, but again, nobody knows exactly what the situation with her was.
Jesus.
Off the
What a
book,
terrible planet to have to live on. God.
I know. And so she got replaced, just like I don't know if you noticed, but
Fucking,
after a while,
fucking
the voice
cult's gonna end up getting you if nothing else does.
the voice of Dexter changed after a while. I don't know if you noticed that. Same voice
Oh.
actress. And
Wow.
yeah,
Okay.
so it was around that time period when Dexter changed over, was when she, yeah, when she was apparently when she apparently passed. But yeah, just weird little side note. I thought that was super weird. But yeah, again, I was always a big fan of this show. This was probably like like growing up,
Yeah, I
like
feel like
definitely top 10
I
shows.
I feel like, I hit like I really do, and I really feel like I hit like junior year of high school,
Hmm.
and like, well, I mean, I guess there was a lot of driving around in cars and going
Hmm.
to parties, but really something in me was like, I don't like cartoons, and like really, just like I don't watch cartoons and play video games now.
Hmm.
Like now I'm an adult, and that lasted for way too long.
That was
But
that was
and this was right around the time that I was like, no, I guess I don't watch
th-
cartoons anymore.
there are moments that it it definitely sells the whole, like, it definitely, I don't know, it's that I don't know if like me personally, I don't think I could go back and watch it today just solely for the kiddiness, but I appreciate what it was trying to do at the time for me when I was a kid. Like it was a lot
Okay.
about conservationism
Oh,
um
good.
and despite the fact that they have a pet monkey, they're trying to support, like, free range animals, and uh stopping the transport of exotic animals and things like that, and
Well, I like that.
yeah, and poaching too. There was like a that was another big, like, the antagonists of the show were these two poachers who, it was like a Laurel and Hardy sort of bit, and yeah, they would, like, the tall thin one was like the brains, and the short stocky one was kind of like the like yes man sort of dude, like, yeah, boss sort of thing.
Oh, sure, sure, sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so, but yeah,
classic. That
and
old
and and,
chestnut.
and those guys creeped the fuck out of me. It definitely really sold home that, like, poaching is terrible, and the people that do it are even worse. But
Love it. I love that vibe. That's my
mm,
fave.
but oh god, now I'm gonna try to remember what this show was that's going on to the next slide. If you
You
want
know
to,
what? I think so. This slide is here.
wait,
I figured this would take the time to mention
I
this
remembered.
image.
I remembered this show
Okay,
now.
great. Because I don't because I want to know.
It was As Told by Ginger. That
And
was the show.
was that a chupo?
I'm not sure. I did not know that was
Is she having
Klasky
dinner with
Csupo.
an orangutan?
I don't remember what the basis of the story was. I
Whatever is happening in this image, I do not like it. But I also, and this might become a tradition here, but there are a few things. This meme resonates with me. This meme, since I first saw it 10 years or whatever ago, This is just something I wish people would just know about me by looking at me.
You know what? Like,
I just yeah, and there are a few. Whenever this something like this comes up, I'm gonna make a point of putting it on the slide when I think about it. Maybe I'll write a book someday about how to
so,
talk to me and not make me hate you.
like,
This is a big one.
for an example, like, you know, I'm right there with you with this meme because, like, oh, really quick, by the way, yes, this is a Klasky Csupo
It
cartoon.
is awesome.
Yes,
What's it called? I'm
uh,
writing it down.
as
Ginger?
told by
As
Ginger.
told by Ginger. I'm
It
gonna check this out.
it was
I'm also gonna watch Our Real Monsters again.
and what was really nice about the show was like right around like my age bracket, I was like maybe like 12 at the time, 11. Like I was in middle school, and like this show when
Okay,
this
yep.
show came out, it was like like okay, cool, I can get my after school special, but like the show was pretty like relatable. It was like if you remember a show from ABC called Pepper Ann. It
Oh
was
yeah,
about
yeah.
yeah. It was almost like in that sort of vein, where it was like but it was like softer tone and a lot less over the top goofiness.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
yeah, very 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 cute show. But looking at this meme, it reminded me of my brother's girlfriend when she came over for Christmas. So
Oh boy.
like this
Oh
woman
boy.
this woman is she's very sweet, but she
Okay.
is the absolute pickiest eater on the planet. And that's totally fine. Like, eat what you like. Don't you and like, if you want it like, I'll if I can make an offer for something that you've never tried before and you don't want it, okay, that's totally cool. You don't have to eat it. My family has this tradition of getting those like chocolate oranges. Have you ever seen those?
Oh, yeah. Oh, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
them. Love them.
I love those things. Um,
Love it.
so she's never seen these things before, and she's like, I'm not necessarily sure how chocolate and oranges are gonna taste. Uh, so and we had like another flavor that was like chocolate raspberry or some shit. And my mother's like,
Or
"Oh, well, we got this kind." And she goes, "Oh, well, no, it's okay. Like, I'm good. I usually don't eat sweets too much." And then my mother's like, "Oh, come on, here, have one." And like, then my stepfather comes in. Oh, it's okay. Here, have one. We have extras and blah blah blah. And I could see her like kind of like kind of coming into this like corner, feeling backed up. I felt terrible because my brother was like, I could tell in his eyes he was just like he was
leave it
trying to say something
alone.
to stop, and I
Yeah.
had the one to pipe up. I'm like, damn, if the woman doesn't want to have chocolate, let her
It's got
alone.
it.
Leave it alone. Don't force it on her.
Yeah, it's like bullying in a playful context or because they think that they know what you're gonna like. There's so much
Mm,
shit that like it's and it comes down to me ending up just not talking to anybody because everybody is doing some weird socially programmed thing like over familiar playful rudeness and so
mhm.
many things like that I pick up on that just tune me right off of a person
Like, like,
immediately.
I mean, there's a way of going about it. Like,
Yeah,
I had an ex
yeah.
that hated maple syrup. She absolutely despised maple syrup. Never had maple syrup on her pancakes. I don't know what sort of trauma this woman had with maple
Yeah, who
syrup.
knows? Yeah, who
Yeah,
knows? Yeah,
but like
that's
what?
the
Every
point,
time I
kind of.
made
Yeah.
pancakes, I didn't put the syrup on for her. I just gave her the pancakes, called it a day. And then one day, like I was finishing up my breakfast, and I'm like, oh man, I'm too full to finish my pancakes. She's like, you know what? And she actually went and tried it, and I'm like, okay, that's good. I don't feel like I'm forcing you into this, into eating maple syrup. But she event like yeah, again, like people have like their aversions. Like I have a severe aversion to mustard. Mustard disgusts me,
Yep.
like to no end. Um, and again, I know we're gonna be backtracking to an earlier discussion about cow and chicken, but I was still I was
I
still
just
wondering what the why we're still having this in the conversation, despite the fact about how it's blatantly terrible. but like the pun is
I do-
hilarious. The pun
I
is
loved
hilarious.
this show. I loved this
I
show.
love the
This
show
was
too.
one. This. I mean, this is why I was sure that this show was made by this studio. Like I was such. It was on the same vibe for me as Real
Mm.
Monsters. I want to watch both these shows again. They were so good.
If yeah,
And this was just the funniest thing. Like I never the first like. I'm sure I did not know what the joke was. But later on, I can't believe that they were allowed to have these carpet eating women on the TV. Like it's insane to me. And I'll always bring it up. I think it's so funny. But this show was great. I can't believe it was not made by Klasky Csupo.
and the thing about it was is that it was that I believe Klasky Csupo was sole animators for Nickelodeon. If I remember correctly, that
Is that it? They own
they exclusively made stuff for Nickelodeon.
after
But
after The Simpsons.
after The Simpsons,
They
yes.
did work on The Simpsons. They worked on some of the TV show even when the TV show started coming out. So that was like maybe 89, so before Rugrats.
Oh yeah.
But then they may have become Rugrats may have the launch of Nicktoons, they may have become exclusive, that's sure.
Yep. And then
I never saw this thing. I never saw
you never saw
Rocket
Rocket
League.
Power? So this was another fun middle schooler show of my youth that I really enjoyed because I skateboarded a lot when I was a kid, and this was a show about like extreme sports kids doing extreme sports things like
This was a Nickelodeon.
this
I
is
don't
no,
know why it wouldn't be.
yeah, it's a Nickelodeon.
Oh my god, we didn't even talk about I don't even have a slide of adult Rugrats. I forgot they did that too.
Oh,
This and
yeah.
adult Rugrats. I felt like I wasn't sure. I feel like so many of their characters are Chucky. I feel like Chucky is the, dimensional timeline hopping character that ties the whole Klasky Csupo Nicktoons universe together because they all look like I didn't know if the adult Chucky was this kid in Rocket or is he?
The adult.
Where is it? Are they all Chucky? Is Chucky in every show? Did he start out as Gao?
I honestly don't remember.
A Gao wild man? Yeah. Anyway,
the person that replaced
his
the woman
name
that
is
did
Chucky, right? We're talking. The kid in Rugrats is called Chucky, right?
the redhead kid with the glasses,
Yeah.
the one that's afraid of the guy
Yeah.
on the oatmeal box. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mm.
For a second, because now I started thinking about the horror doll that stabs people, who also has red hair. So I didn't know if I was making. I didn't know if I stopped making sense a long time ago.
No, you're fine, man.
Okay.
But yeah, I loved this show. This was a really funny one. There was like it was interesting in the fact that like I definitely identified with the very blatantly pale white kid with the glasses because he was kind of like the kid that like sucked at all the other sports, but would have like
he hung out anyway.
but he hung tough, but like uh and then he would eventually like get it down and be able to do something kind of half-assy, but it would still be okay with everybody else. Like that was like me and my like the kids that I skated with was that like I could give me a staircase, I'll go and ollie off of it, but like ask me to do a grind or a kick flip, like I can't get shit. They asked me to jump off stuff, done. but yeah, and but yeah, this show was really goofy. This was all about like Cali surfer kids, if I remember correctly. Despite the fact that they had a Hawaiian guy, so I don't know if they were actually based in Hawaii or what, some sort of coastal region next to an ocean.
Sure.
But yeah, I love this show. This was a good one.
It looks like the beach town in Earthbound. Are you familiar with Earthbound?
I'm familiar. I haven't played it through all the way though.
I think someone gives you some drug cake on the beach.
The drug.
There's some instances of they of course don't call it drug cake or whatever, but there's some in the American translation, But there's some instances where someone gives you some magical cake and you trip off to some other dimension.
So the reality was that you got roofied by some guy on the beach and that like And at the end of the day, that's like the entirety of the story of Earthbound is just you ate some moldy LSD laden cake from some dude you met on a beach.
That's definitely part of it, and some very
Okay.
questionable tea from some creatures in an underground cave, and some other hallucinogenic materials that cause
Fractals.
yeah that yeah blah 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 childhood drama
Jeez.
that kind of thing. Yeah,
Uh,
Earthbound's great. Earthbound's a fucking trip and a half. Holy shit.
I need to play that.
It's an investment of your time, and it's some fucking Evangelion shit, tell you
It's some
that.
Evangelion shit. Um, so I ended up finding this quote really funny from. So we're the next slide's Duckman,
Oh
and
yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to lead off with a scene from Duckman that I thought was sincerely hilarious.
Great.
Let's see.
This was based on an image, maybe not maybe an image comic, but this was
Hmm.
a one-shot comic that I didn't know that.
Oh, it was a one shot at one point.
This was the original, the guy who recently passed, who's the creator of Duckman. The first thing was a one-shot comic book, perhaps by Dark Horse. I want to say Dark Horse now, but one of those
Mm,
guys.
yeah, but
Not slave labor, probably. I think it was Dark Horse.
I do love slave labor comics though.
Of
I
course,
yeah,
yeah.
but and excuse me, it's not a scene from Duckman. It's a handful of scenes, but like this particular, like there's something about the way that he's a douche to people that
Oh
is just
yeah.
absolutely
By the
hilarious.
way, this
Mm,
takes place in the BoJack Horseman cinematic universe,
it
probably.
does.
I said probably.
Oh, okay, probably, but
Yeah.
Staring at? What
All right,
the
what you
hell
got?
are you staring at? What the hell are you staring at? What the hell are you staring at?
I just
What
love
the
how
hell are
that's a
you staring
consistent
at?
phrase
What
in
the
this
hell are
show.
you staring at? What the hell are you staring at? What the hell are you staring at? Wait! This isn't fair! You just took a bunch of comments out of context and strung them together to make me look rotten! Snap.
I just thought that was really funny.
Great. Terrific. Yeah, I
Uh,
like this show. This was yeah. I
this
wonder
is
when this
one of
was
my
out, because I
favorites.
do feel like I don't know, maybe not. Maybe I wonder if this was around if I was sort of in my. I think by the time, yeah, I definitely was like in high school, and I
Yeah, this
definitely
was
watched this.
94 to 97, if I read correctly.
Okay, yeah. So this is right around when I was deciding I was going to be an adult and not watch cartoons or whatever.
Mm,
But yeah, that show was. We watched a little bit of it last year, and yeah, that show is very funny.
yeah, we should do another watch party. Like, there's like endless like Duckman series that you can find on YouTube easy.
Yeah,
Well,
I think we watched season 1.
did we watch the? Oh
Yeah,
yeah, that's right.
from.
We got baked as shit. We watched season one. That's right. That was a good time.
You remember this duck from 1994 through 1997?
Mm-hmm.
Voiced by Look how thin Jason Alexander was.
Mm-hmm. And
He
how
was selling McDonald's cheeseburgers.
George Costanza he looks. Oh man, that's another great
But
show.
it's a lot like BoJack Horseman in that you can look at it on the surface and see this cartoon with this stupid duck and his stupid family, but
Mm.
it's like it's so much about like self-loathing and
Mm. Yeah,
just
Skilla.
the
Welcome.
hell of being around other people. They're very similar themes, and this
Mm.
show is, I think I said it last year when we were watching it, this show was extremely ahead of its time.
Oh yeah.
And well, right now everything gets canceled after one season, but maybe 5 years ago it would have been a good time to
Oh,
have Duckman come back.
there's apparently an echo. Hold on. Maybe I've turned down my headset here. Let me know if that's any better. Um, that's strange. Yeah. But yeah, I was always a big fan of this show. I yeah, I would like stay up late and watch it on USA. Like, like as soon as. like what was to be the Adult Swim like bracket in Cartoon Network was done, I would just switch over to USA and watch that.
Wow, this was on when Adult Swim existed.
Hmm.
That's funny. That really is like there's like a line in my memory, like in my personal chronology of like high school and the first college I went to, and that's where like Duckman is. And
Hmm.
then like when I went back to college, like there was only like a year or so gap there, but there's like a hard line in like two different timelines I was a part of. And yeah, Adult Swim definitely is part of that second timeline.
Oh
It's
yeah.
really weird that they were both on the air together.
Mm. It those were some like it was like again everybody says like the 90s era was like the golden age of cartoons, and I feel like a lot of people um I feel like a lot of people feel the same way, but it's not really noted as such. Like I mean, you had such great shows like Freakazoid and Animaniacs. You had the Batman animated series come out in '92. And then a long series of movies out of that, and those were all fucking fantastic. Like I remember my great grandfather taking me to see Mask of the Phantasm at like a fucking dollar theater somewhere, like in
That's
like
awesome.
'95. It was it was like awe inspiring. The most like it was definitely a severely adult themed animated movie, but it was so good. In the 2000s, yeah, I would agree. Even the early 2000s made some fantastic cartoon series. Ed and Eddie, like that's another series. Like,
Yeah, that's truth. That's around then, around the 2000s. I was like
mm,
something turned off, something that liked cartoons turned off in my brain.
it, like,
I'm prepared to
mm,
say that everything that happened in the 2000s was bad art wise.
yeah, like
I'm definitely wrong. I'm
mm,
definitely not correct.
no, when I went into high school, like I that was another one of those cartoons. Like there was this. So I was in high school, and there was this girl that was just complaining about how like, oh my god, I couldn't get any of my homework done because my brother was like watching Ed and Eddie and laughing his fucking ass off,
Mhm.
and I don't get it. What a stupid fucking show. And I'm like, are you kidding? This is a parody of life. This is like I every single character in that show. Like spare me. Like you've never actually watched the show. You never gave it a chance. You just hate on cartoons. And I get it. Like, you like I had to eventually get over myself too, like the whole like thinking that like, oh, you're not an adult if you watch cartoons.
Yeah,
It's a
that's a silly thing to think. That's
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's a
That's
sincerely
very
silly
silly.
thing to think.
It's just good. Just silly is the word for it.
Yes, 100%. Uh, my buddy's dad used to work in productions with TV and stuff. They so happen to have the big comfy couch in their warehouse. That's fucking cool, dude. Sammy used to set the
Wow,
skateboard in the warehouse in the winter. There was no indoor skate parks at the time. Yeah, dude.
it's awesome.
Especially
That's
in
rad as
Canada.
shit.
Yeah, that's super
Big
rad. You
comfy
get to go
cat.
skate with the big comfy couch.
Was it giant?
It had to have been. One could only assume.
It was. I mean, yeah, it was pretty big.
Like, dude,
And then here's the cast. Yeah, and so what are the Zappa children doing these days?
um, I couldn't tell you. I honestly have
Okay,
no idea. I think
me
Dweez.
neither.
So funny though. Funny story. I actually had for so I was going through Tubi, and I ended up finding a uh I was watching the Weird Al show, like from the
Oh,
90s.
the oh
Yeah,
yes.
the little
Okay.
like
Yeah.
kind of kids show that he did. And what my favorite bit was is that he had Dweezil Zappa on there, and Dweezil would come on the show and do all these nice things for Al, and Al would treat him like shit. Like, Dweezil like, okay, Al,
Aw.
I wax, your accordion for
That,
you, and
this
he's like,
sounds
oh yeah,
familiar.
thanks, Dweezil, whatever. But well, that's the last thing I think I saw Dweezil Zappa do. I don't know what he's done recently. Was it Dweez? Yeah, okay, I did spell that right. Oddly enough, I don't know how I spelled that correctly.
Good. Congratulations.
53 years old. IMDb, where are you? There you are.
What's Dweezil up to?
What is the
Having a
old
normal one, I hope.
the Dweez Meister?
What's the Dweez doing?
The Dweez. Apparently he was. Oh no, he was on. Apparently he did a song on the Legally Blonde soundtrack. Uh oh. Okay, cool. He was on Metalocalypse.
Oh, rad. That show makes mention of Danbury, Connecticut.
We're Louis Cooters. But I love that fucking show. Like
That
Metalocalypse,
was definitely a good one.
it was good until they tried doing the opera, and then I was just sincerely disappointed.
Oh.
He was also in the movie Jack Frost with fucking Michael Keaton. What?
Was he the CGI snowman?
He
Was
was.
it a CGI snowman?
He played a character named, what was it? John Kaplan. I have no idea. I haven't seen that
I
movie
don't know.
in a long ass
Yeah,
time. But
I haven't seen that movie at all. I've only seen the horror movie with Shannon Elizabeth.
with the fucking big ass like snowman in the hot shower trying to, yeah.
Yeah, with his carrot nose.
What a fucking awful movie, dude. I remember that movie. But
Shannon
yeah,
Elizabeth really has had a career. She really has been in some movies, that's for sure.
that's
Some
for
of the
sure.
finest films ever made. That's really.
Let's see what else is he in. Yeah, he hasn't done a whole lot lately. I also didn't realize that he was.
Good for Dweezil.
Yeah, he's gotten what he's
Hope
needed,
he's
and
relaxing.
he's
Yeah.
probably doing the Zappa children does Zappa thing. Like I know like a handful of the Zappa kids do that type of shit. But yeah, I again rewatched this series just recently. It's on it, hush hush, wink wink, nudge nudge. Go to Hulu or wherever it's supposed to properly be. But like, it is on
Watch it
YouTube.
however you can watch it.
Watch it wherever you can watch it. Just not
And
illegally.
also watch Our Real Monsters. That's the one. My pick really is Our Real Monsters. I like Duckman. I like the Biker Mice video game. It's like rock and roll racing.
Wait, Biker Mice from Mars?
Yeah, it's not Chupo, but
Oh,
did you like it?
I did. You know what, man?
I was definitely too adult.
But
I did play the video game.
There was like that whole like line of
Street Sharks.
Oh yeah, Street Sharks. Yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Our friend T1BG likes those sharks a lot.
I was a fan of Street Sharks a lot.
But yeah, animal mutants in the early 2000s cartoon superhero team.
The first CGI
Battletoads, obviously.
Oh, dude,
there's Battletoads CGI Rugrats, by the way. I didn't even.
Oh, why?
From like 2 years ago. Yeah, it's scary. Awful looking cursed CGI Rugrats 2 or 3 years ago.
You know what? The claymation SpongeBob stuff, or the felted SpongeBob stuff, I thought was really cute looking. It looked really.
Oh, nice. I'm not sure if I've even seen.
There's some stuff of it, but
felted.
But yeah, if you can find it, like it's somewhere around. But yeah, I was a fan of those kind of like artistic like stylings, but
yeah,
it sincerely I feel would take away from the kind of
edgy pizza cats. Sorry.
Wait, Samurai Pizza Cats?
Just keep going. Yeah, dude, that was one of them.
Dude, Samurai. Oh my God, there was
I did not. What were you saying? Shit.
Oh no, it's okay. There was something lost.
Superhero turtles.
It's cool. There's just something lost from the etchiness of the sketchiness of
the whole the way it. Yeah.
Yeah, like I remember playing like Rugrats video games on PlayStation, and they tried their best to recreate that like solid
Weird
line
squiggly,
like
yeah,
cartooning, and
like Parappa the Rappa.
yeah. Yeah. Rugrats were a very
They did
interesting
that
show.
weird flat kind of model with squiggly kind of.
Hmm. But
If I recall, I don't know if we're thinking of. I don't know. I'm honestly not positive if I'm thinking of a.
no, it was a 3D model, but but in no matter what way you
Yeah, it was
face the
flat.
camera, it looked yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
but
They
it
did
still
that kind of thing.
maintained
Yeah.
some sort of it maintained a dimension still, which was weird, and I don't know there was like particular shadings to it or what, but yeah. Uh, but yeah, I loved that series too. I everything that I remember from Klasky Csupo, uh, I felt was some of the most um at least for me inspirational cartoons, uh
Yeah.
at least artistically, like as much as like
Real
you know
Monsters was a big one for me.
mm, Real Monsters was really great for me too, although I had problems with the storylines in a couple of the episodes, because if I remember correctly, I actually like sat there one episode. It was like the whole discrepancy of not being seen by people. There was like a that whole discrepancy concept of like not actually being seen by somebody.
Okay.
uh and then Ickis makes friends with that kid or whatever.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They're not allowed to be seen, but
But and then there was like another episode where the entire group of monsters, including the Gromble, ended up like making friends with a human, which
sure.
again it teaches the whole like I'll make friends with everybody
Yeah,
thing, and
there's a reason they do
there's
it.
a
Yeah,
the
yeah.
reasoning to it. But and again, yeah,
You felt it. You felt it infringed upon
it
the
infringed
lore.
upon the whole concept of let alone the Gromble's character's supposed to, as much as the Grumble is a a freaking overbearing like nut bar, but has the like some moments of like understanding, but overall is just
Kind of a villain.
he's just trying to be shitty to people on purpose.
Yeah.
um
No one likes that. I think Monsters Inc. probably owes that show some money,
probably.
and Monsters University.
I'm trying to remember. I actually believe that um Supo passed away.
Could be.
Mator. Nope, I can't find anything about it. I thought.
Gabor Csupo, Hungarian, born September 29th, 1952, is alive today.
Mm-hmm.
Years active, 1976 through the present. Founded Klasky Csupo with Arlene Klasky in Los Angeles, California in 1982.
Oh, I guess she's still alive too. Well, what the hell? I swore I read somewhere that one of them had passed away. So
And
excuse me on that.
they were involved in the cursed CGI Rugrats. I mean, there's the studio is still running.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think I read something about the actual studio being like a very like a very fun tourist attraction. Like people
Oh,
go
no.
there and the tour there is really this may be before 2020.
Mm.
But like the studio is like a fun place and a well-known attraction in Los Angeles. I could get well, I'm not going to try to find on Wikipedia wherever I read that, but just a tidbit.
It's still interesting. But I'm gonna say that's the last
That's
slide,
most of
dude.
the shows they did. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
most of the shows they did. Do you want to
Um.
take a look at
Well, let's see what else they
the
made.
video game I played for a little while?
Oh
Because
yeah.
we've pretty much wrapped it up.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about, well, interestingly enough, Rock and Roll Racing, which is a lot like the Biker Mace,
Biker
which is a
Mace.
lot like the Biker Mice from Mars video game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if you just saw a girl stab herself in the face.
I didn't see anything.
Uh, Biker Mice from Mars, the video game, reminds me of Rock and Roll Racing. This is a very silly one.
That was the one. Oh no, that was a Road Rash where you would hit people with the chains and shit.
Yes, yes, yes. But Rock and Roll Racing and Biker Mice from Mars had a very weird isometric point of view for a racing game where like you were like kind of looking, and also there was a game called RC Pro Am that had the similar kind of view that was it kind of took some good. There were a few games like this, but
F-Zero
like
X. Yeah, that was a good one.
F-Zero X is a good racing game.
Mm-hmm.
It's not exactly what I'm describing with the Biker Mice from Mars. But anyway, Blizzard made Rock and Roll Racing. They also made a game called The Lost Vikings, which now I want to play that after playing the Real Monsters video game, because this is like I found it pretty interesting. I feel like the Vikings are a little bit more puzzle based. Like in this, each of the monsters has certain abilities, and you have all three of them at all times.
Yeah.
I did. You might have. I mentioned that I had to look up the instructions. Because I had to look up the instructions for this, I decided I didn't want to look up the instructions for Rocco's Modern Life. But and there was also like in the 90s there was definitely a type of licensed video game, Wayne's World and Home Improvement come to mind, that were just these giant horizontal and vertical mazes where you had to find like a particular item.
I remember.
And I was worried that like several, you would have to find like all the shoes or whatever. So I started this game and the grumble was like, go find a shoe, and I was like, oh no. And when I started seeing these levels, I was like, oh no. But it really isn't like that. You find one shoe and the level's over. And even though the backgrounds are annoyingly repetitive, like these areas really could use some variety. The level still is very straightforward, even though it might not look that way. And even though I don't like how repetitive the backgrounds are, oh my god, this boss is terrible. The hit detection in this game is insane. If you can see me, this dog is just catching me before I even hit the ground, almost no matter what.
That's some
the
bullshit.
The hit detection in this game is unbelievably bad. But I think the animations of the characters are amazing. Like, look at when Ickis is in the dog's mouth. It's so cool.
You see his eyes like, bulging out and going left and right. I'm honestly
these jumps are. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say those jumps look terrible to do, but I was reminded of the Duck Dodgers video game, if you remember that one.
Oh, was that like Daffy or Donald? Was that a famous duck?
It was Daffy Duck, yeah.
Oh yeah, was it Marvin the Martian?
Daffy Duck, Marvin the Martian, and Porky Pig.
Cool. Yeah, no, I don't think I've played the game, but like some of these licensed games, like some of the character animation is so good, and obviously this is annoying what's happening now, but when they're idle, some of their idle animations are so entertaining. And this is just like, and that is one of the reasons why I think this is a good adaptation of the show, which I loved, because one of the joys of the show was just seeing the different weird ways they would draw these characters in such variety all the time. And it was always, there wasn't anything static about. I'm going to go back and I'm going to realize that it looks like utter crap like everything else in the 90s. But I remember it as never being static, never having that Family Guy feel of just someone with their mouth moving. Let's see if I beat this boss this time.
Yeah, man, that's a hell of a jump path that you have to figure out. Oh, dude.
It's very annoying, and the dog is. This is an incredibly annoying part of the game. It was just like, and it's very janky, but it's almost not like. There's a certain type of game where you end up just having to kind of learn what the jank is like.
Yeah.
And this is that kind of game. You just have to kind of train yourself to, but like, you just land. The dog is always under you. Oh my god! All right.
Dude.
But so within the levels, there isn't a ton of variety.
I mean,
it is neat to use all of the different characters and kind of see what each of them do. But then I did get to the next. I think I did I think I might have done 6 levels. So the next 3 levels were in like a gymnasium. And
Mm.
this is where I'm wondering, I don't really remember all of these kids. I don't remember a lot of the human characters from this show, but I have like,
Mm.
this is vaguely awakening. I sort of vaguely remember some of these human characters. I'm showing you like the most annoying parts. Oh, this is something that a game can do to just annoy the fuck out of me. Yeah, like I feel
What
like
the
I
hell?
remember these human characters. This is the teleporter sequence. Except of course you're flushing yourself down toilets, which I think
Hmm.
is great. And I think that these toilets look great. And I think that even though the bricks kind of look bad, I think
Yeah.
that the items, all of the objects in these levels, uh are done really well. I
They
think
meet
these
the.
characters are cool. That's one of the humans. So you end up
Mhm.
having to scare humans, and you've got ammo and a lot of stuff. But
Mhm.
I'll let you talk. But you
Well,
know,
I was just gonna say like
I liked it.
the stylization of like translating the etchy stylization of the show onto a game. It's
Yeah,
hitting that mark like perfectly.
I like it. Yeah, I think the characters are done really well, and
Mm.
even especially the human character. That's kind of what I was saying.
Mm.
And I think we're gonna see the Grumble here. This is a pretty good cutscene. Yeah.
Nice.
So the last level I think I did, I had to scare this redheaded man, and you know I recorded a
Oh.
few bits and pieces of this, so we got a little bit of
It,
footage here, but other than that, that was, yeah, that's most of
mm.
the shows. Here's one of the
Yeah.
video games. There was a Duckman game that's hard to get,
Mm.
maybe impossible. That's, I didn't quite get there, but it basically, when I looked it up on Abandonware or something like that, it said that very not totally easy to get it to run on any kind of modern system. So you know, never was released on PlayStation. The Rugrats, that one point and click Rugrats game, we could maybe get a hold of. I should look up. I didn't think to
Mm.
look for Rugrats games that might have been on the PlayStation or PlayStation 2, but yeah, there totally were some. And but yeah,
Oh,
that's about what's going on.
and again, just another really quick, loop around to bring it all back together. Greg Berger, the voice of the Grumble,
Oh,
is
all
actually
right.
also the voice of oh God, what's his name? Cornfed in Duckman.
Oh, that's right. Yes, yes, that's correct.
I,
Very good. Good job.
I just saw that right now, and I'm blown away because those are two distinctly different things. In all honesty, I was actually
Yeah,
trying to figure out if the Grumble was played by
that's
the guy that played the red guy on Count Chicken, because it's kind of the
oh,
same little
real.
infliction,
Wow, that, I mean, yeah, that makes a ton of sense.
to the voice. It's kind of like he starts here and then he goes up here, sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for real. Yeah. No, that was it. That was the inflection. Yeah.
Dude, yeah, but yeah, again, Klasky Csupo makes some fantastic stuff, and yeah, man, we that was an awesome presentation. But this is some interesting stuff and covers some ground that I didn't even remember.
I love it. I love All Real Monsters. I really got to see where I can take a look at it, cuz this show really was a huge inspiration to me when I was young.
Mm.
I really like, and this and the real Ghostbusters were two really big, got me drawing monsters early on.
I was again I grew up loving these shows quite a bit, but
Hi
yeah,
Preaker.
man,
Hi
uh,
Paprika.
shut that off. Wait, yeah,
What's
I
for
guess
dinner?
I need to figure out what's for dinner for myself. I don't know. Maybe I'll eat this baguette if it doesn't keep fucking showing
Oh
or
no,
keeps
I
fucking
hate
showing
that
up. Look at this
Oblina
guy. What
baguette.
the fuck is with this guy?
I like Oblina as much better. Oblina has eye stalks. The baguette, having the eyes in the center of the baguette makes you look like a scary baguette.
Yeah,
The lips, the lips might have been what was scary about Oblina. Lips floating in the darkness with
pretty
some
much
weird white bands.
something like that. All right, get out of here, baguette. Oh, oh,
I do not
there.
like that, but Jesus, I don't like this baguette. The baguette remains.
uh, I think I'll bring him back every once in a great while, just because I
It reminds me of something. It
I
reminds me of something
something
very strange.
It reminds me of something I've seen in a bad trip. Yeah, that's for sure.
That too.
Yeah. All
I
right.
wonder if I could, if I had to try to hunt down the strange thing that it specifically reminds me of.
uh,
Maybe I'll show you someday. Maybe someday I'll have something strange to scare you with, like a baguette.
dude, I'd be stoked to see it, dude. I will say, the one thing that I remembered from my NR that absolutely that I thought the kind of sticks in my head permanently was the demon gas station dog drawing.
Yeah. Oh.
That thing sticks in my head as like absolutely petrifying, and would not want to run into that in a dark alley.
All right. Good.
But
All right. Thank you.
that was a
All right.
petrifying
Come here.
drawing.
Can I
But
have? Can I have the kitty? Can I have my cat?
uh
How are you, baby kitty?
hello
Hi.
Paprika.
He's already had dinner, but he's complaining about something. He wants to go
Mm,
outside. You want treats? I'm gonna cook some food. I don't know what I gotta look at, see what I got, and
I gotta figure out.
yeah,
I
I gotta take stock and make a dinner. I've been eating cans of soup, which is yeah. I'm gonna finish off my baguette, but I'm gonna cook
Yep.
something for real.
Dude, I need to figure out what to do too. I had like a whole large pizza that's lasted me the past 3 days, and now it's gone. And
Nice.
now I feel like the box just empty inside. So
Did I tell you why I don't like Dexter?
wait the Dexter's Laboratory, or did you talk about the serial killer Dexter
No,
show?
the serial killer.
Okay, yeah, no, you never told me why you didn't like it.
In the very first episode, he's in his police department and he goes over to the box of there's Dunkin' Donuts,
Mm-hmm.
and he opens and he's got a monologue, a voiceover going on talking about what he does in the morning or whatever, right?
Right.
And he walks over and he looks at the box of donuts and he opens it and there's no donuts left, and the voice in his head says, "Empty, just like me." And I turned that shit off.
Why?
I
I
was
never
like,
realized that.
that's not a well-written TV show. I'm not going to watch that. I was like, no, empty,
Dude.
just like me. Eat my ass, Dexter.
Uh, uh, Another internal monologue show. Have you seen Dr. Robot yet?
No,
With
Doctor Robot, not
Yeah.
Mr. Robot.
Oh, is it Mr. Robot? I thought it was Doctor. No, it is Mr. Robot. I'm thinking about Dr. Robot. What the fuck? Yes, you're
No,
right.
I've not watched Mr. Robot.
Mr. Robot's super good.
Should that gets the recommendation?
It
It's
gets
on
it gets a
something.
mad recommendation from me. I haven't finished it, but from what I've seen and yeah, it's super good. It was it Rami
I'll take a
Malek.
look.
Rami Malek
Yeah,
does
Rami Malek.
petrifying, dude. Like it's a
He does.
bizarre
He's
show.
good in everything. He's good in everything I've seen him in.
Oh yeah,
For real.
for sure. But yeah, I think that's it for today. I need to figure out what to stuff into my face before
Yeah, me too.
I do
Real
other
bad.
things.
It's really time for that. I've
yeah,
eaten oranges.
but Thursday we doing are you doing
Yeah.
Iggy? We're doing Minecraft. We're doing Minecraft, or are you doing
I'll-
Iggy Day?
I'm not. I don't have any. I don't have solid plans with Iggy right now. But if I do, it'll be before 5 p.m. And do you want to
Okay,
still
either way.
shoot for 5 p.m. to do stuff?
Yeah, sounds good, bud.
Okay, I'll ask Toronto and Chaos if they want to play Minecraft, and if not, we'll have to figure out if we can.
Mm.
One of us hosts a thing or how it works. But that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
sounds good.
if you want to talk about bots or things for chat people do, you can even like just from like the dashboard, you can like run like polls and shit in chat. I think you can.
Yeah,
I
I've
don't
seen
think it's
that.
an affiliate thing, but like you can, yeah, if you have we'll talk about it. I'll tell you,
Yeah.
I'll explain, I'll show you whatever I know. We'll brainstorm a little fun things to have chat be able to do with exclamation points and stuff.
I'm about it.
And yeah,
Right on.
we'll see if
Well,
the Minecraft people want to do that.
all right, sounds good, bud. And yeah, again, again, this has been Thought That Was Weird. Thank you all for joining us. I'm
Yeah, thank you so
Klasky Csupo.
much.
Yep, and that's CuyaDK. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure to follow Cuya on his socials. You can find that all on CuyaDK.tv. I'm on YouTube. Just look up Thrash Kshu. Yeah, it's been a pleasure, dude. thanks again. Catch y'all next
Thank
time.
you, man.